Hello there. In this video we're going step by step how to make from scratch, from basic code, a website with AI. It's meaning when AI can create for us the code, actually HTML code, when AI can create for us the images that we need to do and all put together, included content inside the website. So it is a not template driven, it's not something pre-created, you just put it like WordPress, whatever. No, it is absolutely from scratch. It even will write for us JavaScript and CSS code. What I was meaning by this. For example, let's look what here example site. And by the way, I'll put link below. It's a website ai.dev. I specially create this to show you example where you can see how it's can done. Notice on the top we have it our rotating banner, so it's rotating through the images that we uploaded. Below I said specify and we go over this layout what you wanted, so it will pre-create this CSS and how it's look. Add some articles, added links to internal also articles that I needed, copyright whatever needed. They create additional pages like article. Notice right here it's add as a CSS round images, so it's look interesting, multiple colors. Can also write articles if you need it with populations, as well creating like image gallery, so you can, it's fully functional gallery, so you can actually click and view on the images that created. Also we'll go have it like contact page with information fill up, and to more explore how well it can work with JavaScript code. Here's example Infinity Scroll. For those who does not know, it's preloading images, but because if you have too many images, sometimes you don't want overload with these downloads, so it's preloaded some till you scroll all the way down, see where you scroll down, and when it's hit down it says, oh, I need to load it more, so and it will preload it even more images. So this is all written by AI. And even more, when you want to make even games, here's an example. It's created maze for me. So this is dynamically generated maze by JavaScript, and it's AI wrote every single line of this code. So I did not write the code. But let me put disclaimer one. It's not like you just type one line, it's creating code for you. So you need to take specific steps. You need to actually specify, and if it does not work, you need what segments rework. For me, I spent a little bit time to experiment with this. I did crash it several times, the robots ChatGPT, so restart over. And this is what I want to give to you. Tips how you can do this, how you can easily organize and create from scratch really fully AI written website. But before we start working, some prerequisites we need to have. First, I would highly recommend for you to download your developer environment. Wherever you like WebStorm, Visual Studio, wherever you like it. Visual Studio is free and you can download it specifically for the Windows, Mac or Linux. It's worked very well, and it's what we're going to use to start our project. So those is two primarily. We also will going to use it two services. One, we're going to use it Open ChatGPT, and one thing we do going to use it GPT-4, the latest one, and it is a huge difference actually when we develop code between version 3.5 and 4. But 4 you need to pay for that. I will show you what is different is later when we hit that and explain why you want to use this one. As well, for these developing images, I'm going to use a Midjourney. You can use it any other services, and that plenty. I'll show you after some free one that you can utilize to create images. So all of this, what you see, it will be created by AI. Code, content, images, everything. Okay, so what we're going to do, click on Windows. It's what version I'm running, and we're going to download the. After download complete, we'll just click on opening our file and follow the installations. Currently you see I already have it pre-installed and it's running, so I'm just canceling. But if you simply just follow steps, just accept it, everything, and it will install in your default folder. After installation is completed, go ahead and run the Visual Code. You should see like this screen, except you won't have any recent opening projects. Next, we need to create our project we're putting. For this one, Go on your drive where you work. For me, it was D drive, and I just created website AI, web AI site demo. You can name how you want it. Just create this directory, and it should be empty directory. Next, we're going to file, and you're going to open folder. After you open folder, you should have it empty space because we don't have any files yet added. And now we kind of prepare our environment where we're going to develop. One thing what I want to do when develop code, be sure it's running without server, and for this you sometimes need special web server, but I want to run just straight on our desktop. So we'll try to avoid some include files and some other server specifically technologies. So we'll try to create just only client-based stuff. So for this, we need to create some pages, but before create pages, let's go to actually our AI and specify what we want to create. What I'm going to do right now, because it took some time for me to do it, I'll go from steps, stop, showing you precisely what we're going to do, and you can follow this as well. The first, you want to have a description, and description of what site you want to create. So in this case, I want to create HTML template, and one reason you want to create HTML template, so your each page is look same. On this case, it's tell AI not just create one page, that just put it also segments in this. So what is meaning by this? If you look how it's created, it's add header area, navigation, main, footer. And if we look on a website, you notice right here, this is our header with a banner, rotating banner, navigations. Then we have our content area, and on the bottom we have it footer. This is very standard design for the website, but it doesn't mean you lock in this. You can change and specify. You can create even single page website if you need it, but we're going with a classic in this case. So right here, create HTML website. I want to say index HTML and specify a top page. Need to have a header with the name of the site. Under header, located links. It's right here. You see those links is located under header. The next, we have it content, should have it on both side page, footer. Header should display banner image. You remember what it says? It should change every 10 seconds. You can also modify in the future, but this is kind of defined what I see the website. Navigation below should display location of currently select page. So notice right here it's a little bit bold. So it's actually it's what I was saying. Well, your location information. Use it placeholders for images. And here's important things. If you do not specify what directory your image is located, it probably will create its own. So I highly recommend for you to say, hey, my images will be in directory images. So specify path when you define your website where you want to locate it. For example, if you want to put a JavaScript code in a scripts directory, specify says it must locate in script directory or it must locate in root directory. So just be sure you specify path as well. Next, all page needs share, header, and footer, and I keep. You can also specify avoid using includes, because includes will utilize some specific JavaScript codes and everything that is not cross browser compatible. You will have some problems if you run on your local machine. So in some cases, if you want to test this way, easiest way just says include in HTML page. And again, I'll show in a second what is will done. Website should contain main link page, about us, contact us, article about how AI can create website, make nice long with some images. So see, you specify what images you want to do. Well, pages, you don't necessarily need to do this. You can also says build website with the pages that is usually used in business website or so. So it will actually take and create those pages. But in my case, I want to actually specify. Notice right here, I don't have a page with infinity scroll. I don't have a page here with a gallery specify, or I don't have a page with a maze. Those pages you can add afterwards, and it's what we're going to do. So also all page needs share same design style, same CSS. Actually right here next I said that they're separate. When it's showing gallery, it should be click and it's showing full size image. You remember it's what happened right there. We have an image gallery showing thumbnails. You click and it's showing full size image. So it's all specification. Link to external JavaScript files need to be allocated in single header because I want to allocate there. And the reason why I specify this, because actually ChatGPT is smart enough to create external links to different JavaScript libraries. I will show a different example a little bit later when we're going over what not to do as well. Okay, so also specify additional for the images. Let's go next. Do not simplify text. Be sure to be descriptive, innovative using HTML. This is for the content. And here's also it says content. Notice in the end it says print end of the page on each page, so I know when it's ended. It does not necessarily follow these instructions, and that may create problems because it's a limited how many characters can be output. So this is my definition. You can write your own, you can describe your website, but this is almost like your technical requirement document, what's called TRD when you create it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Right here, this come up first, and don't be scared by this. It says, due to limitation platform, I cannot provide the full HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That is okay, because it does not want to use it one call. And currently with ChatGPT 4, we have a limit of 25 requests per 3 hours. I know it's ridiculously low, but it's worth it because it's developed better code on this. But what different main for us between GPT 3.5 and 4, it's how many points or information can hold it inside, how when it's creating this multidimensional map of the creation inside, 4 have it multitude more than 3.5. And I'll show you what's happening when we switch to 3.5, what errors we start getting then. So right here, it's created for us first HTML file. And usually it's created very nice, so you can go ahead and click copy. Notice it says it's PHP code. In reality, it's HTML. So we'll just copy code. And now we can go back to our Visual Studio. In Visual Studio, we need to go on a website demo, click on a new file, and we'll just type index.html. If you're not familiar with a web developing, index.html, index, it's a first file that web server looking. So for example, if you type website ai.dev, the web server will go there and look for specific files for the index.html, index.htm, or index.php. It's specifically predefined files that will look first and try to load them. So index.html, it's our first file we need to create. And what we're going to do is pass, copy, and paste the code inside. Notice right here, we also have it styles, CSS, and JavaScript. So let's create those ones. So we're going to click and we'll create styles. This is our stylizations. And we'll also, another ones have it script.js. One thing I notice sometimes it's changed, if it's scripts or script may change it, so pay attention to this. Each time when it generates, sometimes it's like to change some of those names. So we'll go script.js, and this is where we're putting all our JavaScript. We can create a multiple JavaScript files. I would recommend keep it in one. So this is our basic. And if we want it, we actually can go inside our file right here, and we can just click and open our index. And this is our just simple index, nothing display here. So if we're going to inspect or view, you'll notice on a code, we just have it basic, nothing display. And this is the main reason because we actually have it nothing inside. So let's go back now to our template. And notice it's also create style files for this. So next it's tell what step you need to do. Of course, we want to continue to work with this. So in this case, I says continue. And this is make different because if we're going with the 3, sometimes continue, it says, hey, I don't know what you're talking about because run out of memory. So in this case, it says continue, and it's continuing with a leftover. So notice right here, it's also creating our now segment. It says main.htm, but right there, it's our main area. If we go back to look right here, you can see we have our main segment, and this is actually important for us because these areas, navigation, main and footer, it's how we can specify to render specifically segment of the page for us. This is quite a bit important. Instead generating all page and page can become very big, you can set segments in your page and tell AI render just specifically this segment. As example, here's my attempt to creating Tetris game with a code, and you'll notice it says it's too large, it's creating, but it's also create those setups. So afterwards you actually can go and says, okay, give me Tetris shapes and colors a class, or create this one. So and it will start creating those specific classes. So you can go and have it segments. Otherwise it's become very long, it does not fit here, it will cut. So keep it segmentation, same like right here, keep it on specific classes, segment group. It's very useful when we start to create that. So on this point you can see it's creating for us on the main page when we put it. Also start creating additional content areas for all other pages. For example, this is our main HTML or index HTML. Here was our about page because we asked to create different pages. And at this point, we can start in creating those pages like about HTML, contact HTML. So we're going inside and we're going about.html. And let's go create contact.html. I want to be sure the names is specific. It's what tell you are, because AI will reference those specific images, specific website later, and we want to be sure it's consistency in a name. You could actually went and says, hey, from now on, instead contact.html, use it contact us.html, and AI will take and convert this. But general, we'll keep it this one. Overall, these main sections, it's what we need to replace it. So let's say, remember I said create template, and this is important for us because when we create template, it means I can go to index, to the side, copy this code and paste in every of the page. The reason is we want to do this way so it will have a templating. It's have a multiple approach we can do with AI. We can say, hey, create external files, how I said before, and include them. But then we'll have a problem if you run locally on your machine without any website server set up. Then it won't be necessary to display them properly, or you need to use different languages like PHP or TypeScript or any other ones. Here's example things that I was doing, creating services inside test of the services with a TypeScript and Angular, and also includes some Angular materials forms. But again, in this video, I don't want to go depth in how you can program this. We're going the simplest and fastest way to create website. Okay, so same, you can see we have contacts here. And all what we need to do at this time when we're creating, for example, about us, we'll take this code, we copy, or you just click on copy code on the side, and we're going in our code, contact, and with the main sections, these sections, we just paste here, and it's literally replacing, so it's all what we're doing. Don't worry that is currently maybe does not look like you want it. We right now creating shells, we're creating structures, framework for our website with the pages that we're going to use. Okay, so let's go ahead and look more for the code. So next, we gone and we create all of those templates for AI article, everything. I said before, don't worry that empty or anything. Right now, again, we're creating templates, we're creating placeholders that we're going to work. One thing, we could try to create one page at the same time, but I found it is getting messy, it's getting bigger, and much easier when we do just by the blocks. Okay, same with gallery, all this stuff. So next what I did, it says write for me the index.html file, include all necessary code. So in this case, if something get missed, I already know because it's going specific sections. And you can see right here, it does for me create navigations and header. In this case, I can just copy this area, just navigation header, going inside the HTML. Let's go to index and just going and replace with my header information. Right there, just going and place inside. Oops, right there, my navigation. So let me destroy these ones. And there we have it, our header and our navigation. As well, we can go take main section for now. It doesn't necessarily need it because we're going to replace this. And we're going to copy and paste our main section. Again, you can save it. And let's preview what we have this time. And you can see we have this our main, about, and all this stuff. No stylizations applied. It's look just a flat information, and because we do not have any style file. Notice right here our style CSS is empty and it says put your file inside. So next I want to say, hey, write for me the CSS file, write the stylizations that I need to have it. And this is our basic first stylization. Again, we'll just go and copy all this code. I don't need to copy any segment. I just copy everything. And we're going to our empty file. And we copy and paste here. Okay, let's see what the stylization was creating for us. And you notice it already looks similar to this file. So we have it our header, footer, and placeholder for our top. Notice the banner image we're supposed to do. We do not have it because we actually need to have a JavaScript for this. But it does have it our already some stylization completed at this time. So next after stylization, when I said before, we don't have a rotation banner. So it just says add rotation banner to index.html. And you notice right there, it's have it our image, right there, banner image. Let's look in our original code. And you'll notice if we go to our index original code, we do have this banner already there, was before, so it exists. But what we was missing at this time, we're missing our JavaScript. And this is what created. It's created this JavaScript JS file for us. Again, we'll just need to copy this file and going inside our code to the scripts and paste inside here. And this time you'll notice we'll have a banner 1, 2, and 3. So images specified inside. You can create any placeholder at this time. And later I'll show you what we're going to do with AI to create our images. But general, this is our banner. I did pre-create some of those banners before. But if we're going to verify, you'll notice, let's go refresh, reload here, that our images does not display it. So let's go back in here and we'll go to create a new folder. And I call this images folder. And inside this folder, I just going and put a bunch of different images from my other ones. So we'll go select all of these different images. And I'm just going to copy them with different names. You can create any other placeholders if you need it. After this, if we reload it, won't show anything. And the reason is it is not necessarily same file name. So let's look what we have here. You can see it's have banner.jpg. And what I put inside, it's a banner.png. It's different type of file. So it's still be image, but different. In this case, what I need to do, tell AI, I need to say instead of JPG, use it PNG file. And I done this later in a code when I notice it's creating this way. And it's kind of nice because all what you need to do, just have it type use PNG as a image files instead of JPG. It's all what you need to do. And actually after this in the code, it will start using PNG extensions on the files. So, but right now as a test, let's go just to try, and we're going to PNG, put it right here. But anyway, the reason is why PNG, they're a little bit the larger size than JPEG due to the compression, but it's what Midjourney produces PNG, and I don't want to convert them. So we create this, save, and now when we have correct images, we have right here our image displayed. Be sure you replace not just there, you needed our original banner in an index.html. We need also replace with PNG file there as well. So we have it all properly extensions. We could also specify for AI to do all of that stuff, but I found sometimes one small adjustments you can do without rewriting any code. And majority my reasoning for doing this, because we have it on a chat GPT, we have it only 25 requests per 3 hours. And by doing this, I minimize how many requests I need to do this. So sometimes hand typing will save a little bit more requests, because I won't save those requests for generating another additional code in this case. Okay, so let's go look right there. You can see it and the rotation. So this is actually work. You can see the image's rotation already done quite a bit. So let's go down below, and we have it also our script that we wrote before. We also can have it our style to add it additional for the navigation, so we can copy. And when any additional style, like right here, you can see we add the style. Let's copy all with a comma. And by the way, if you're not familiar with HTML, this is one process. This is just let us know what it's doing for us. And again, we can take all the code, copy, go to our styles, and on the bottom where is right here, add additional, we'll just highlight this and paste. So then just add some navigational information. Sometimes some of this code will need to replace. Notice right here, we have our navigations on the top, some nav, and this is referred to the specific classes HTML or specific classes stylizations that need to be changed, and we have it on the bottom as well. It does separate, and you can put around, but we have very beautiful things we can do inside the ChatGPT. What is meaning we can copy all of this code when we're done, can go inside, and we can say clean and format this code, commas, and we just paste it. I'll show you in fact what it done, but in this case, it's take a code where we put it in, gone through this, reformat it, clean up, remove duplicates, put it in right places, and give it back clean code. So it's a nicer way to actually also cleaning code by utilizing ChatGPT. So right here, let's go next. Now I want to write my gallery page, and it's what simple command. Remember, we created templates, we created layout. ChatGPT for creating this multi-dimensional structure for about what we're requesting. And if you look on the side, I have many different charts, because each chart have their own structure, their own build and working around what we needed. So right here, write gallery, and this is writing our gallery code. Again, I don't necessarily need copy paste, and because original we set as a template, it's nicely putting for me commas. Where do I need it put? And notice right here it says include header and navigation from index.html. So it's telling me when I have this code, just copy from index.html and place inside. This is won't do in a ChatGPT 3.5. It will create a bit different. So again, we can take all this main, just copy. Okay, let's go back to our code, and we're going to gallery. We don't have any gallery. Let's create one. So we'll go like right there, gallery.html. And to be sure it's what I needed, I'm going right there and see, yep, gallery.html. Next, we can just copy all of this code. Okay, except we don't need a header. Yeah, let's go copy all of this for now. We'll go paste this in gallery. And if you remember on this code, what we need to do right here, we just need it and replace it. Actually, what I'm going to do, now let's go take all of this. Sorry, let's go take all of this. This will be easiest way. We'll just put all of this, and we'll just go follow what it tells us, so we don't make any complicated. Include header navigation from index. So let's go right here. And this is our header and navigation. So we copy this one. Okay. And we'll just put it in this place where it tells us. Now it says include footer. So let's go to index. This is our footer. We can copy and paste. Notice our footer does not have necessarily all information yet, so we can come back after and put more information in the footer, but this is already start creating for us. Notice it's right here image, so we don't need to put it image inside. We'll do with JavaScript code. And if we go back here, we'll notice it does create JavaScript code, and it's actually tell add to existing content. So it's meaning we can copy this code, go back to our JavaScript and add. It's meaning we'll just put it enter and press it down, and it's added. I did not modify the PNG to this, but we have some duplicates. One thing, it's what you need to pay attention a little bit. Notice we declare twice. We have banner images, we have gallery images, and a gallery does not have some PNG images, so it's a JPEG, so we need to modify that. So after modification completed, we also needed copy and add code for the styles as well. We copy, go to the styles, and we paste to the end. So now, to save a little bit time, what I'm going to do is going over the steps where I took it, and I'm going to show you each step what was progressing without actual copying paste. And when we come to the little bit end, we'll put it all code in together. So right here, you'll notice after creating, it's create gallery function, JavaScript, create image is actually explaining what it does for me. And it does going to read the files and put them in. Next, we have write about us page, where it's add all the information. Notice again, it says include navigation from header and footer, which is kind of very nice because it's let me know when to create those things. Okay. So the next, we have the style CSS, and almost any time when we're creating some page, you'll create style. They not necessarily will look what you want, but that is okay because we can come back. One thing what I prefer to do is have a small steps. You create something, you look how it's, if it's look correct, and going adjusting. So now we're going to write contact us page. One thing with contact this page, it did create the form for us. So let's go ahead and copy, and I'll show you what is meaning by creating form. And we're going to paste. So we have a contact page. We're going to copy and paste. Again, included header and footer from index. So let's go ahead. We'll take navigation and header from here. We go to contact. We'll paste it. And the same, we go index. We'll take our footer from here. And we'll paste it footer. Okay. So let's look what's happening here. If we go back to preview, we'll go to contact us. Notice it does create a form. Form does not look very good because no styles is applied, but it is when people can put name, email, and everything. So let's go right now, actually go down and take our styles. We copy styles. We're going inside our stylizations, our style CSS file, add to the end, reload. So here's, it's actually done very good because if I type email something wrong, it's actually telling me email address is wrong. So it's done smart enough to provide some validation. However, some emails won't work because if I try to create some and send, it's showing the send. But if we, let's look on the code right now. So if we look on the code, let's go to contact. We notice it's created form, and most important for us, this submit. It's actually produced nothing. To send email, you actually need generate and you need create command. So this is a nice placeholder for the form, everything, but you'll need it to backend support. And because I don't want to create any code on the backend or some special scripts for this, what we're going to do is replace it to form send with just info about or how to contact us. And if we look on our that created before, let's go contact us. You can see right here, I just add social media, add a phone number and email so people can contact this way. To add email, it may create a couple of thoughts to this. One, they have special robots that can go around, search for the email and spam, create spamming things for you. So they can do exactly the same when you have it forms, can do this one. Any submit forms may create a vulnerability on your website. So personally, I would recommend don't use any submit form if you can. Just use this simple. They can click and send email by using their own web email client. Also, you can provide your phone number if you have a company phone number, address, and this is 123 AI Street, Artificial City, AC. So it's a very nice, legit address look to me. And of course, you can provide with the media social links. Okay. So we can change this contact page afterwards, and you'll see when we come. So next, what I want to do is make additional page where dynamically generate images, create maze. You remember this maze page where it was created? So I want to create something else because we add all of this stuff, but I'm saying, hey, can actually AI create a maze or create something different than the usual page? So in this case, it's what done. It's created for us. Utilize using Canvas. Again, simple. Notice right here what it does. Because we utilize template at head, and it's very important to specify your template before you start actually generating, because it will reference to this, and it will add this additional very nice tags for you to just replace your code. And it does not, even AI does not have absolutely pure clean code. We can try to do this, okay, create a website, but it is all code what I'm using. I don't type it, I'm just copying, pasting code that AI generated for me. So all code what you see, it's everything generated by AI. But understanding of how the HTML, how the everything work, it's necessary in cases. And reason why I brought this is necessary, that many times it's going around and says AI replacing the humans, or AI replacing developers. It is not, it does not replace it. It just give it developing much easier, faster, and smoother. So it's unnecessary removing all these code monkeys that you need type and spend time. And this is based not just on that code. Some examples that I showed before with Angular and other ones with the service writing and everything. You can easily take this routine that you usually type the code, give it command, copy, paste, and adjusting after you work. So this is just a tool. It just gives you templating that you need to work with. Okay. So in this case, understanding of the HTML and CSS does help you develop the site. You can still copy, paste if you don't understand, but it is also excellent teaching tool. You can learn by looking at this, how to develop this. Okay, so right here, again, our CSS code, we put it, and JavaScript for the maze. So after you copy and paste, you create your maze page. Next, I want to create AI article, because it's very fun when you have it, but you know, if you can create article about some AI, improving programming with AI and all the stuff, this can be fun. And notice what I said. I said right here, funny, good, reliable, integrate link to my HTML page and other ones. So you can rewrite, and will rewrite a little bit later when you progress. In this way, when I create page, I look on this, I don't like it, so I can go back and say, hey, rewrite this page for me. So right here, our AI article, notice it does putting all the sections and selections inside. Again, very easy, just copy, paste. Okay, recommendation, do by the segments. Don't do one huge page. We'll see what problem is could create it later. So next, I want to write content for index.html, because originally it was just a landing, boring page. So it does add a little bit more information to this. And also what I was saying, notice I specify right here, it says write context index.html page, make it look balanced and modern with images inside, multi-column and rows. Because if you remember this index, it was boring kind of, yes. But if we look now on the other ones created, look what I did. It's actually create multi-column. It's a link to my own on a page stuff inside. And it is by creating this request. So it does create it for us, all this access. It's also add, if necessary, it will apply style CSS, and it just copy and paste, copy paste on the side. Here's a problem is, notice, remember I says when it's generate only so many lines or so many characters output. So right here it was generating. And notice when it's happened to the CSS, it seems like it stopped. This is important. If you do not totally look correct, just type continue. For me, it's definitely was something missing after display, so I press continue. Notice what's happening. If before we have it coded in this nice black boxes, now it's kind of mess up and put it. But again, I can just copy this one, and next I need to go and select all of this all the way down and copy and paste. This one, it should give you kind of clue on the end that is code done, completed. If not, you can again type continue and you'll do this. The problem if you try to do with ChatGPT 3.5 and you're creating websites with multiple pages, you run out of the space or the multidimensional, all this linking inside. And in the end, you will have this. When you type continue, it says, I apologize, but seems I don't know what I need to do. Provide, and this is not happen. Same like right there, you can go there, you can type continue, and it will be same problem. Sorry, I cannot do it. Sorry, I cannot do it. Or repeat it over. For example, right here, type page, and it says continue, and it start typing again from beginning. Again, continue, start typing from beginning. So this is a problem with 3.5. It's why it says 4 GPT-4 work very good. I did not have it any problem. The only problem I have it when you run out of the requests, because 25 requests per 3 hours, that is the biggest problem for me. GPT-3 was producing very fast, but it's very run out of the designated, all these connections, everything very fast, and it does not produce as logically integrated code together very well. Okay, and because of this, we can type continue with 4 and it's actually produced. But at this time, you'll notice it is using same hhover. It's created duplicates, duplicate styles. It start messing. And sometimes what I like to do, it's what I said before. I just says clean and reformat this code. And you just copy and paste all CSS at that time that was created. So it's some duplicates was here in a code and all this other comments, and I actually did very good job. So this is says it reformat CSS code, and once in a while it's what I recommend for you to do. If you when you create a page, be sure you take a code if it's become too big or you add some additional stuff, run through the cleaning, reformatting, and remove duplicates. And actually ChatGPT does very good job on this, on removing and cleaning. And as a result, here's a cleaning, reformatting, put it in right order. And you can see right here, remember it says about navigation. Notice they all grouped them together nicely, easy to find, and it was sure if it's have any duplicates, it was removing them. Again, problem with this, sometimes it get too long, just type continue and it will continue with a code, but you will need it copy kind of and place it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Next, we create those pages, but I need to create my images I want to do. So same, I says write text to image prompts for every image that used in this project. Prompts for AI image generated, provide visual description, write all in single line, separate by column between each image prompt. The reason is why, because for me it's much easier was just copy this way, and it can put it in single request. So just you can put it as in the by numbers or anything. And what I done, I just copy this one and put it inside the Midjourney, and you can see right here it was AI generated this, just copy paste, and it's created those images for me. If you're not familiar with Midjourney, I will link for you videos so you can use it. But speak about this, you don't necessarily need to use it Midjourney if you don't have its subscriptions. You can also use it different ones like Blue Willow, which is beta and it's free. You can access to Blue Willow, set your account. It's utilized same as the Midjourney, very similar Discord interface, very similar commands. Beside, if you don't like Discord, another ones you can access Leonardo.ai, and it's give you about 150 credits for every 8 hours, which is give it plenty to create the images for the website you wanted as well. Or you can go to the Night Cafe Studio. Same, they provide free credits, everything. You can create images inside this application. So it's a lot of alternative free solutions what you want to use it. But in my case, I was just using the Midjourney to create some of those images. And you can see right here, let me scroll up through all my stuff. We'll come back to this in a second. And right here, I create images that you can see inside the website. Keep in mind, when you create a website, what do you want to do? You want to name them how you want it. And I'll show you the interesting things that you can do inside AI to specify what you want to use it. But generally, right here is images I created like banners. And I just take them directly from Midjourney and put here. With some other services, for example, Leonardo, you actually can specify what size of image you want it, which is make much easier in this case. With Midjourney, you kind of stuck a little bit to ratio on this. Okay, let's go back here. So right there, write images, and it's when I created. Next, if you run with a problem, like for example, gallery wasn't working, it's meaning when I click on an image before, let me go again to image gallery, it's preloaded one image up front, and when I click, it did not work. So what's nice about this, if it you happen to you does not work, just write specifically. For example, JavaScript code for gallery does not work, rewrite it. So and it's went over verified code and also help you to debug. So what is meaning, if I says like show a broken image overlay with a language, it's gone over and says, hey, it's possible you're missing this. It's possible you need to do this, and it's tell you directly. So when you build the website with AI, don't hesitate to come and tell specifically if you have problems, because with the 4 version GPT-4, it's have this nice keeping inside all information, and it will keep a track to what was generated previously. So if I come and says, hey, this is what problem happened, it will work. Also, if you have any specific error, I can actually copy and paste error, and I'll see if it's showing here. Then it will go over this error and says, hey, this is what happening. Notice right here also, if I have any code, again, gone to clean and duplicate, remove duplicate codes, because obviously it was some fixes, and I think it was problem with some additional codes with a rotation image and in JavaScript currently. So it's not only CSS, and it's went over this and clean up a code for me as well. Okay. And right there, it's come back and tell me all of these codes, keep it. Nice things, because if you modify your files, it does keep them as modified PNG instead JPEG. So same when you run to the end, and you can see, say like does not complete it, you can type continue, and it will continue doing this. So next, for example, you can say write code for HTML page using templates as above to infinity scroll. So in this case, if you come up with later and says, hey, I need to develop page, like in my case purposely, I says I want to add additional page on infinity scroll, which is not was on original template. And I need to tell this, but always say using the same template as above. So in this case, you can see it does create all this page, but also it's add this infinity scroll. The problem is when you take a code and you embed it in each page, that you will need actually going afterwards to every navigation that we just did it and add these files there. So it is biggest minus of not have it include files, but biggest plus, you don't need to have it any server running on your machine. So right here you can see it's add a code, we copy paste, and this is actually was this one infinity scroll that can go, and again if you're going all the way down, you can see it's waiting, and there you go, preloaded more to this. Okay, that is progressing. Next, we have a right example of array. If you have any question, like for example, right here, you can see it says the code add infinity scroll, 10 new images, scroll bottom, fetch from gallery images array. Anything that you create and you don't understand or it's missing, you can always ask. And this is what's happened here. It says write example of array gallery images. And you can see right here, it's wrote for me example how array need to use it. Notice what is happening here. I say for the maze, for example, I want random and I want full sky. So when you start working with some specific and you don't like how it's look, you can always customize. For example, original maze was writing teeny tiny small square, and I just says create it bigger, and it's what was done. It's a rewrite for me all code for generate maze, and it's create full size. So right here specify, be sure it's a full size page, and it's created for this. And overall, if we can look on this, let's go back to our maze. If I rescale my page, the page it's always will create to the maximum size of the page, will create this maze for me. Okay, let's go ahead. Next, also add what need to be add to HTML, because some containers need to be add. And one thing I found sometimes is forget to specify, hey, you need to add to maybe those files, so you can tell write all files whatever need to be added there as well. Okay, so for example right here I had a problem with the maze, and it says it does not showing header. And this is interesting things because it says it's maybe issue with CSS, and here's how to fix it. So it's actually giving me code. I want to be sure this code is there. You can copy, paste, replace those code if needed, and it's worked very well. Okay, so let's go ahead. It's about us, and this is interesting because the about us was boring, yes, original when I look, and it says, how about this? You add team members here, 5 team members to me, make photos, make funny, bios, images need located on our left. So I specify location, and this is part of the designer in you. You can tell where you want it. Notice also what I said, because my images, when I create, I name them T1, T2, T3, PNG. So it's a team. And then I specify image for path and directory and name them T1, T, and so on. Pay extra attention to clean design. So I says, use it those images T1, T3, and it's what it does. If you look right here, it's put it images that I needed. And this is honestly I should done on the beginning. I should specify it when I declare. I says here, because my images always will be just PNG, use it only PNG extension for the placeholder images. So I should done this, but it's worked very well, because if we're going about us, you can see right here it's created, and as well and it says code, it's added, and I says change team, because original team members names, if we look, I think there was a little bit bored. The name was like John Rocketman or John the Juggler. I want to create more AI related, so I switched to AI, and they have it like neutral, lots of laugh, Giga Checkelbyte. I think it's kind of funny ones. So it created those images, and also it was whole, so I want to create them on the middle, and I want the multicolor. It's where I specify using pastel colors, and that's what happened here. It's add pastel colors. Things is what I'm showing right now. It is you don't necessarily need to specify everything at once. When you create it, you can just copy paste and you add this, and it says it does not look right. Let me rewrite that page, create this or change the stylizations, so you work back and forward like really creating page. So it is not just one single solution. When you just type, click button and create it. They have a website that simulate this, but they're using templates. They're not truly creating from scratch. And this is what reason of this video, what I want to show. It is really creating from generating HTML code, creating from scratch, creating those segments that you're working and put it in. So you as a developer working with AI directly to adjust and create dynamic HTML pages, JavaScript pages, so you work directly with AI. It's what's going on here. Okay, next we have stylizations, also add. Next, I don't like articles, so I ask rewrite. And notice right here it says, I like how about us look page. So it says rewrite article and format the same as the page about us. So it says, oh, okay, you want coloring, we put it coloring there and other stuff. And if we look right here, this is what's happening. If we go AI article, notice it's a similar things, does not use the round. And It's because I actually ask not to use the round images right here. Do not make round images. But it is utilize same effect, coloring and everything. So it's kind of nice about this. Okay. So next, same about the images, and except what I says, speed section place pages, images PNG1, image1, 2. So instead using T1, T2, use a different type of images, and it's what it does. It's gone after and replace it, adjust them as well. Again, try to make this in smaller segments if you can, so you don't overrun, because it's come up a little bit messy to copy paste afterwards. So same, rewrite the contact us pages to match this style because I like it. Write CSS if needed, because sometimes they may add CSS, and this is add all the CSS needed for this. Don't like about colors, you can remove the colors, do all the stuff. Next, I try to add counter, but it's come with PHP code, because actually what it does, counter need keep it information somewhere when people coming in. And you have several options to do this, because JavaScript is not persistent. You need something that persistent information keeping. You can do this through the XML, HTML file that resides as a file written on a server, or you can do this through the databases. In this case, neither of them I want to set up, so I want simplicity, so I give up on that. And I had just more fun. It's a shake and fall HTML. Actually, it's work. It's great website. When you click button, all text is shaking and fall down. So kind of fun with this. The one more things we can tune up the site. If you notice right here, you have some image in the corner. Look, this is Adobe recognizable linked, and you can create your own custom icon as well for your website. For this, all what you need to do is create fav icon. It's called this way, and download it in your main folder. Right here you can see example. You see this one? favicon.aco. This is favorite icon. So how we can create this? One, you can go inside the Midjourney and type pixel art up front. The reason is why pixel art, it will create a little bit more blocky, and because favorite icon it's little bit smaller, we can shrink this. So after, you can select which one you like it, save it. Then you can go to this website. I'll provide link below. It's favicon.io. Click to upload your file, and it's almost instantly done. Now what you want to do, go ahead, click download, save it. It will be saved as a zip file, and reason is because it's many other files inside that you can use it, but right here this is main what you wanted. Just copy this file, put it in main directory where you want to put it, and there you go. Now you have your favorite icon of the image you wanted. It is will specially resize, reformat. I mean, it's very simple, very easy to do, and it just add this nice kind of touch to your site, kind of more recognizable. You can of course play around with different favorite icon to create like white, black background, so easy recognizable in the tabs. And you can see right here example, it's Adobe, link it, so kind of very nice different way to do it. And of course that is a purely cosmetic, as I do absolutely nothing with functionality of your website. So now let's go look fast on what not to do stuff. So similar things was writing, except at this time was requesting to using more JavaScript, and what's happening, it's actually add to external navigations and everything, which is kind of nice, but I think it was unnecessary complexity. Like for example, right here you can see when you click on the link, it was utilizing JavaScript instead of HTML links, but it's the reason why, because I was asking for drop down. So when you click drop down, it's created, you can select options and it will redirect you. So it's fun, but the problem is with designing, it's hidden navigation. You don't really want to. You want people to see the main navigations, easy to do, and it's create complex. Also, you can utilize to using external libraries. For example, right here you can see was accessing to different external libraries located on different servers, which is some of those libraries provide much better experience with like scrolling, because they can have it blend. It's more complex code can be. The difference is you need hit different servers now. Now your code is not necessarily depend just what is reside on your server. It's also depend what reside on different server. And if it's for some reason their server is bad, your stuff stop working. So plus and minuses. You can load it locally, but it will require more developing, and I don't want it. I want just create very simplicity. So with this, without creating my original templating, just create code, you can see it does add all the segments, and it's telling me, hey, add this to your structure, add this to your structure, but it's come up a little bit more problematic when you start doing. And as well, some elements was requiring to run this on the web server because it's cross browser protection for the bad type of script can be, so it did not necessarily work. But overall, right here, you can see it gives you segments where you can add just simply copy paste elements inside. But this was okay. It wasn't a bad problem, and a website worked just fine. Very similar to what we've done before. With one problem, what I say try to avoid. This is all done was originally in GPT-4. But as a problem become, at one time when you reach your limit 25 requests in 3 hours, it's come and ask you, do you want to switch to GPT 3.5? I did mistake says yes. What it does, it's take the model that was 4 and try to copy in 3.5, but it's run out of the points in this case for our array since inside the multidimensional, and it's totally break everything, totally break all your structure and everything. So in this case, you can see start writing and you say continue, and it says apology, I don't understand. It says, well, continue with my code. It does not know what to continue, and it's gone in loop, just start writing same code over and over again. So if it's happened to you, if you run out, stop. At this time, don't try to change from 4 to 3.5 because it will mess up all of your code. Next things, try to avoid to write a big large files at once. It can handle, but it will be messy. Let me show you what is example what I mean by this. So right here I says fractal. It was working different for the fractals.js, and you can see it's write the file and then stop. Next say continue. It's continuing with classes. Notice as a continue right here, we have it broken. Actually, if you look on this is a broken code. It's missing brackets, and it does happen. So if it needs split, it does split, but it is all repeating code, or it's become all that's messy. And you can see type. I have continue again right here. Notice this broken bracket here. Again, it happened there. Missing brackets, missing this. So if you continue and again continue, and it does more. Continue for more code. So if it's very large files, this is what's happening. It will miss some brackets, it will miss some stuff, and code stop working. So you actually need to understand what code does to fix this. The other ways, separate like what I did in the first example. Be sure create template, create the segments, and you can actually specify, split this in a class, split in segments. So request the amount they send you specifically those components that you can use it. It's much more manageable, less possible to create any errors if it's happened. And of course, if you're more adventurous, you can try to create with different language. You can use it any language. You can use it PHP, you can use it TypeScript, you can use it C#, whatever language you prefer, you can use it here. Here's an example when you says write the component in a AngularJS for me, for example, or sorry, AngularJS is all in Angular, and you can see it's actually created the components with TypeScript drop-down component as example with creating all necessary stuff, and it does work. I tested, it's actually working very well. So let's go back to our original page, what we created, and there's an example of how you can create a web page with a code. And how I said the different is, if you notice, we are actually was generating code from the scratch. I did not type any lines of the code. All what I did it's a copy paste, but it does require some knowledge of the HTML. It does require basic knowledge at least of the CSS and JavaScript to know where to put it, these elements. Even it's tell you, but it does help. But even without this, you can very easy to go and create very nice page that is created with the AI included images, and don't really need any knowledge. Would it replace developers? No, it's not. It's just another tool that make our job slightly easy, slightly better, and more productive. Well, thank you for watching this video. All the links for this I will provide below, so you can go click on them, as well as a website. You're more than welcome go and check how it's work. Let me know if you create your own website. I definitely will progress more. My right now goal it is creating actually JavaScript, maybe Flapping Birds game with AI, or creating another games, maybe Pac-Man or some with AI. So we'll see how it does. But it is will be same approach, componentized, because it's a way how it's creating without get lost in all this super lot of code. Thank you for watching. Have a great time and let me know what you think.